Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Aslam Cheval. And I'm not sure if I pronounced your name right.
You did indeed, Cheval.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it's like
you got it spot
horse
on.
in French.
It is. It is. It means a horse in French.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for saying yes. And let me introduce you a little bit to the audience. You are known as mind architect and helps personal entrepreneur and executives create new possibilities by defragmenting their mind and creating space to allow more joy and abundance into their personal and professional life. I love that very much. And as well, your TikToks. I think you are on more social media channels as well. And let us know something about you.
Right. Me, I have actually got two businesses. One is real estate, and through the real estate, I got into the personal development, which was in 2010, uh, when I met one of our mutual mentors, which was Bob Proctor.
Yes.
And that was 2010. And in 2014, when I met him personally, and since then, I've got into the personal development industry and I've never looked back. So I have got real estate, which I work with, which is one of my passions. And another passion of mine is coaching, is mentorship, is changing lives of people. I just love that, when I see where they were when they came to me and where they are when they leave me, the transformation that takes place is phenomenal. And it's just to give back as to what Bob had done for me. It's just amazing.
So you share what you learned for yourself.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I mean, that's how it has to be.
Yeah.
Um, One of our good friends, which is a mutual friend again, Troy, he always says, you've got to share, and you've got to take action. And one of the actions is to share with others. And that is one of the ways, really, you get to know what you're learning is that whatever I've learned, and if I can transform it, share it with others, and if they get transformed, I know I've learned it correct.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just potential knowledge.
Mhm. Yes, that's also true. Yeah, we have to use it and share it. It is our duty.
It
Yes.
is. It is our duty, and that is the whole purpose. That is the purpose of the universe because that's what we are. Human beings, we're supposed to grow. We're not supposed to remain where we are. We're supposed to
Mhm.
grow. We are creative beings. We're human beings, but we are also creative beings. We're supposed to create constantly and upgrade ourselves.
Yes, and this is why I created this podcast. The name is Inspired, and my first question is what inspires you?
In what sense?
In general, in life, in yeah, whatever.
I've
What
always been
inspires
driven. I've always been a driven person. I mean,
you?
um, I've not had a lot of success in life. My life, I started working at a very, very young age, helping my parents because they were immigrants. And then I migrated over here. So I'm the second generation of migration, twice migrated. And it's always being trying to do something better, taking up on challenges, getting hit, finding failures, using that. But that was not always the case of mine. For a long time, I've had a lot of failures, and those failures, I always blamed it on somebody else.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm,
2008 was the biggest downfall of mine where I lost multiple seven figures in
mhm,
just a go in the real estate when we had the financial crisis.
mhm,
And all I did was blamed my family members. I blamed the bank. I blamed the government. I blamed everybody else, the friends who took the money away. Everybody was responsible for my failure. But the fact was, when I met Bob in 14, and he said that you, my friend, are the reason for everything that failed. You have to take responsibility for everything. And when he explained to me that because I was blaming everybody else, I was giving my power away to them.
Mhm.
And they were like kind of like dictating me, and I was like under them. But when I took responsibility that yes, I'm the person who over leveraged on the real estate, I'm the person who gave that money to my friend who did not return back to me. And all those things that came along where the family did not help me, I gave the reason for it. Was actually my fault for all that stuff. I was responsible for it. And when I took that on board, now I know how to correct it. So I have lived under that umbrella where now everything I teach is where you are responsible for all your action.
Yes.
And once you take that responsibility, everything changes.
Mhm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So how did you solve the situation back then?
Oh, I had two choice. Either I can sit and cry and cry and cry, or I need to draw a line and that's it.
Mhm.
Start my
Okay.
new life. And when I started my new journey in the real estate again and went into the coaching business, I started with a complete different frame of mind. This is me now operating with Aslam 2.0. The old one is finished. I'm taking responsibility. I'm responsible for it. Every failure is a feedback to me, and I'm correcting course every time. Coaching, even when I'm doing coaching, I am teaching my clients, and they're constantly correcting. Every year, I'm becoming better and better through my own responsibility of taking those actions. Real estate is the same thing. You take responsibility. And one of the biggest things which I learned in 2014 when I was at a seminar, and I remember I was having lunch with Bob in his house. It was Matrix, and
Mhm.
we are invited to his house for lunch. And he asked me my story, and I actually told him how the first big downfall happened, where a relative of mine took all my money and went away. And I had no support, support from anybody. Even my family kind of like just turned away.
Mhm.
And that was a long period, and I was holding on to that grudge, which was a deep wound in my heart. And he just turned around and he says, "Why don't you forgive them?"
Mhm. Mhm.
And I said, "I'm an Asian. We Asian cultures don't forgive people that easily. It's not in our blood to let go of anybody like that who's harmed you." And he says, "No, you need to forgive them." And the next day, we were in a session where he made me stand up. I mean, Tandy Gallagher, his partner, she came up, she put the mic into my face. She's short compared to what I am. And she asked me, "Have I forgiven?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And Bob made me go through the entire process of telling that entire story to
Mhm.
the people, to the room, And I started bawling down. I started crying.
No.
Emotionally, I was like, everything was just coming out. And that's when he told me, he says, "You need to forgive. Let it go now." So I did that process. And then he says, "I want you to send love to them." And I said,
Mhm.
"Hang on, guy. I mean, I've already forgiven. You want me to send them love even?" He says, "Yes, send them love." So I did that process of sending love and everything. And then later on, I asked him, I said, "Why did you make me do that?" And he was signing his book. And I asked him that question. And he says, in order to forgive somebody, which is a very deep thing, you need to forgive yourself first.
Mhm.
And it is only through you forgiving yourself that you managed to do that. I
Mhm.
said,
Mhm.
"Okay, why did you tell me to send love?" He says, "It's the same process. In order to send love to somebody, you need to love yourself." I mean, we want everybody to love us.
Mhm.
Do we really love ourselves? That's a deep
Not
question.
always.
Not always.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. We make ourselves pretty, handsome. We do all kinds
Mhm.
of things so that people look at us in a different way, which is an outside. What about the inside? Do you personally love yourself? And that is a big challenge for a lot of my clients.
Mhm.
When I tell them to do that and stand in front of the mirror and repeat, I love you. And it's not easy because they are going to find problems, faults. Oh, my nose is too big, or my cheeks are like this, and I'm not of the right color, or my eyebrows. Stop it. You're a perfect person. You're a perfect human being. Your spiritual is 100% perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. Stop
Yes.
finding faults. Because if you're going to find faults, you're going to find faults. That's how it has always been, And these few lessons which I picked up, which I coach on and which I mentor people, it has not only changed their life, it's changed my life 100%. It's been a complete turnaround for me. So,
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
forgive, and let go. Just let it go. What happens is when we accept that, then you're not in the way of it.
Mhm.
Because what happens is that when you're holding on to a grudge, it's all coming onto you.
Mhm.
So the good part, even, it- the good thing that's got to come to you, you're blocking it
Yes.
because you're
Mhm.
constantly holding on to that negative part of it. But you accept it and move on. Okay, that's happened. Why did that happen? And I'll also tell you one thing, Caroline. What my what my cousin did with me and made me penniless, at that time, it was the worst thing that could ever happen. But it was the best thing because it changed my life completely.
Mhm.
It completely changed my life. I was living in a very small house, driving up a 15-year-old broken car. I now live in a huge house. I've got the I've got quite a few cars outside. My kids have grown up. We're living a life that we love having. All that would have not happened had my cousin not done that,
Mhm.
which means that was part of faith. God said, if this guy's not going to change, let me give a kick in his backside.
Yes.
Maybe he'll change that way. So it had to happen. When you accept that, and then you look for the good in it, what is the reason? You will find it. You will always find the good in it. Like Bob always used to say, there's always an opposite side to everything. If there's something bad happening, there's got to be something good on the other side. If there's
Yes.
darkness, there's bright light. If there's up, there's down. If there's left, there's right. So if you're not in that state at that moment or at this moment, trust me, there is something better for you. You just got
Uh-huh.
to look for it. Let it go. Just move away from it. Accept whatever happened and just move away and redirect that energy to what you want to happen.
Mhm. Yes. Wow, this is very inspiring. Thank you for sharing, and I will apply it right after listening or after listening to our interview again and again because I have to watch the replay
You're
already.
welcome.
It was so great.
I,
And
I hope I hope this is going to be of some help to you know
yeah,
the people who listen, because really, if anything, it is us that is doing everything.
yes,
Robert Collier's very famous paragraph, which is every condition and experience of our life is a result of our mental attitude.
yes. So
What we
true.
think, what we be, what we are is all because of what we think. What are we thinking? When you change the way you think, everything changes. Wayne Dyer.
Oh, yes. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Okay, my next question is who inspires you? And you mentioned already Bob Proctor. Who else? Napoleon Hill, maybe Troy, Chadwick.
no, I'll tell you the line of people I've been with. Bob was the first person. Before Bob, I knew nothing about personal development.
Mhm.
Nothing about personal development. It was only when I read when I actually saw his video, "You're Born Rich." My question was, "Hang on, I'm born rich. Where the hell is the money?" But
Yes.
when I started watching the video, I realized, and that's when I got into it, and I wanted to meet Bob. I wanted to learn from Bob. So much so that I saw that video, I think about 10 times, So it's 10 hours each time, you wash through it. And I manifested him.
Mm. How?
Manifested in the sense that I said, I want to meet him, even when
Mhm.
I didn't have the money. And I had an opportunity when I spoke with Arash once, and he says, why don't you come down? And I said, I don't have the money to come down. It's a high ticket item. I mean,
Yeah.
Matrix wasn't one of the cheap ones. It was the most expensive session that he has, which he puts together for 7 days. And then, to have the money for the hotel, for the ticket and
Mhm.
everything, it was a huge amount. The next thing I know is I'm speaking to Bob on the phone. Raj just connects me to Bob and he says, Bob is on the line, speak to him. And the typical way Bob would say, I don't care what you do, how you do, borrow it from your grandmother, borrow it on your card, but I want to see you over here. And and then he said, do I have that as a commitment from you? And then, like when you commit to it, you will make it happen. So do I have a commitment from you? And I'm like, I don't know, Bob, really, I don't have the money. He said, no, 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 no. I want a commitment. Yes or no? I said, yes, I'll be there. I had 2 months to put the money together. And I got a refund. I got some money that came in through different channels. And voila, I got the ticket and I just flew down.
Wow.
So I manifested him and I got so much into the personal development. And I said, I'm creating this. If it's my mind, I want to know more about it.
Yes.
So I had an opportunity to get trained by Jack Canfield, even
Mhm.
his success principles, train the trainer. So I did that. And then again, it was like, I need to know more. So I did NLP and then I became a master practitioner in NLP. And that's when Troy thing came up, it's all
Yes.
passive knowledge. It's all passive knowledge. You need to really go out and give. So I started coaching,
Mm.
practicing, 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 practicing. And here I am, still practicing, you know.
Wow. Yes, you are. And you are outstanding. I know,
Yeah.
I know the time 1 year ago we were studying together in
Yeah.
Study and Grow Rich.
Napoleon Hill.
Yes, it was a great time. And my
Yeah.
next question is, how do you inspire other people?
How do I inspire other people?
Mhm.
I inspire myself, by
Yes.
taking action. I tell people, this is who I was, this is who I am. This is who you are, and this is who you can become. Put that image like I did of who I wanted to be, and I just went for it. My inspiration to others is if I can do it, you can do it. And this is something which everybody says. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yes.
And it's just really making other people understand that it's not difficult. It is hard, but it's not difficult.
Mhm.
The hard part is actually taking the step, committing to it that I really want to change.
Mhm.
And that change happens. Because once you commit, like Bob said, you're 50% there. You've done it. And because you've set that goal,
Mhm.
you put the
Mhm.
destination, now everything that happens around you is going to be focused towards the destination. So my inspiration is like, get a goal, commit to it, and don't look back. Because when you look back, there is nothing there.
Yes.
Bob told me, just let go of it. When you let go of it, there's so much weight off your shoulder gone. And now
Mhm.
you're just looking forward. And everything that is coming your way is there to push you to the next level. Before, if when I was holding on to things, everything that was coming my way was taking me even more back because I was
Mm.
finding faults. Even opportunities to me that were coming, I did not trust them because I knew that there was somebody who's going to sabotage me.
Yes.
So it was like, start with an absolute brand new page,
Mm.
get rid of it. This is my goal. This is my destination. And this is where I'm going. And I'm going to be there. And If you're on a video, get one of these, write it down, read it, and embody it. That is it, see yourself in it. I
Yes.
see myself every day. Every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge for, like I was listening to one podcast of David Googling where he says, you against you.
Mhm.
Your challenge is not with anyone else. Your challenge is with you. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new challenge. Get up and go for it.
Yes, that's so true. We have to remind ourselves because
Yeah,
otherwise we get lazy and we do nothing. Wow.
absolutely. Procrastination comes in
Mm.
straight in. And then when you let go of it today, you're going to let go of it tomorrow, and then it just becomes a habit because it's a continuation. You're continuously doing it. It just becomes a habit. You have to make it a habit of doing things every day, every day.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you
Like
so
Bob
much.
says, repetition is the king. Do it.
So true. This is how the things got into our subconscious mind in
Yeah,
the first place, and now we rewrite it. Yeah, the same way by
yeah,
auto-suggestion. Mhm.
absolutely. Napoleon Hill's autosuggestion.
Yes. I have one last question for you, and it is when people reach out to you after listening to this episode, do you have a special offer or service for the Inspired podcast community?
I do. I have just recently started a group,
Ah.
where I'm doing group coaching once a week.
Mhm.
And if they want to join up, I mean, they can message me, and definitely the price over there is $197 uh,
Mhm.
over there. And I can give them almost a 50% discount if they want to join. And the beauty about this is that when you join, as long as you remain in it, you will be just paying the same price. So there is no price increment.
Mhm.
So
That's
that's a
good.
special offer I can give you.
Oh, thank you so much. This is generous. Yes, please reach out to Aslam. He's amazing. Yes, or to me. I will connect you and I put the link in the show notes as well. And do you have a last message for our audience?
Change is inevitable. Personal growth is a choice. If you want to change, you will change, but it's up to you. Do you really want to change? Yes, you want to? Get in touch with me and I'll change you.
Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
see you in the next episode.